It's time we start talking about Intel 2025. Of course, 2024 is a complete disaster, right? From a company's perspective and especially from a stock's perspective as well. As you can see, the stock is down 52.6%. But as investors, of course, we're supposed to be forward looking. The stock market is forward looking. Now we know 2024, disaster year for Intel. Actually, it's been, well, overall, it's been a disaster decade for Intel stock, right? 10 years ago, you bought the stock, you would be down 10% today. Mind-blowing stuff, right? But if you're investing in Intel today, you're investing in Intel of the future. You're not investing in Intel of, well, 2018, 2019, 2020, the Intel that was buying back shares, paying a dividend, not focusing on AI, not focusing on data centers, not focusing on leadership and innovation. No, you're buying a new sort of Intel with, of course, a lot of risk attached to it. But if executed correctly, I do think that there is quite a lot of upside, especially right now at $100 billion in market cap. Now, of course, I can be completely wrong. I personally trust management right now. They said 5 nodes, 4 years. They're delivering on that. Now, the stock has been a disaster. Yes, there has been some flip-flopping going around with regards to guidance and the roadmap set, especially from a financial standpoint. So, okay, it's not a perfect report, but it's far from, oh, Pat should go, there should be a new CEO coming in. No, I'm not going to do the direct comparison of Lisa Su and AMD, right? Because that has been also 10 years. 10 years ago, Lisa Su joined AMD, and I mean, the transformation took a while, but it has been a successful transformation. Now let's talk about Intel and Intel going forward, the roadmap, and especially a specific report talking about Gaudi 3 and, well, the potential 30% cut in shipments for 2025. So let's discuss all of that. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not. And if you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment with the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. All right, so let's first start with the basics here. So when Pat came in, he made it very, very clear. He put a roadmap, a product roadmap for Intel to get back to leadership position. So that's the 5 nodes in 4 years, and we're nearing that completion. Now, this is basically the lineup here. As you can see, now we have actually Lunar Lake that has launched. So that's between Arrow Lake and Panther Lake. And Lunar Lake, as of now, if you look at the reviews, it's a big success, should help Intel on the client side of things. Of course, on the server side and on the enterprise and also data center AI side, there is some work to be done, but there you have Granite Rapids, you have Clearwater Forest, you have Gaudi 3, and then of course, after that you have Falcon Shores. Now today, if we purely look at Intel and Intel's product from a client's perspective, DCAI, which is data center AI, and Next, without the money-burning foundry, this is the business that you're getting. Of course, CCG, great business to have. Could have been better, of course, if you look at the operating margins. They have been better before, but I mean, still generating $7.4 billion in revenue, $2.5 billion in operating income. Quite a good business to have, no? Data center AI, just $3 billion. Of course, now with the whole AI hype cycle and just cycle overall, you would have expected this to be much bigger. Remember, AMD is expected to generate from AI-specific segments $4.5 billion. That's up from the $3.5 billion that they mentioned earlier this year. So, yes, Intel is behind, but still $3 billion last quarter. Of course, here operating margins have come down, so should become better. They say here Granite Rapids and Gaudi 3 ramping in the second half of 2024. All the investments that they're making in that segment is, of course, costing them. So let's say, if you could buy Intel without the foundry business, I do think that you're going to get a higher premium from the market, and $100 billion would look quite cheap next to what I think you would pay without the money bleeding foundry. But then again, me as an investor for the long run, I do also want the foundry business because I believe that's going to be an extremely lucrative business to own. Now moving on to specific products. So Lunar Lake and Panther Lake, these were the comments that were made in the last couple of earnings calls and conferences. As for Lunar Lake, that's Intel's next-gen AI PC chip, which achieved production release ahead of schedule in July 2024. It delivers superior performance at half the power with 50% better graphics performance and 40% more power efficiency compared to the prior generation. Lunar Lake offers 3 times more TOPS, that's tera operations per second, generation over generation with an enhanced NPU neural processing unit. It's positioned as the ultimate AI CPU on the shelf for the holiday cycle and has been qualified by Microsoft to power more than 80 new Copilot Plus PCs across over 20 OEMs. Lunar Lake will be added later this year to meet demand for AI PCs alongside other products like Arrow Lake. Now, as for Panther Lake, that will be Intel's first client CPU on the Intel 18A process, which is described as much more performant and cost-competitive process that will allow Intel to bring more tiles in-house and improve profitability. Now, as for the AI products, so first of all, the AI roadmap won't be affected by all the restructuring that Intel is doing, which is great. So here you have basically, Gaudi 1, Gaudi 2, now we're at Gaudi 3, and after that, you've got Falcon Shores. Now, Gaudi 3 is 5 nanometers from TSMC. Falcon Shores is also going to be from TSMC's 3 nanometers, and they will utilize CoWoS packaging also from TSMC. Now, before continuing on the Gaudi story, let me just talk about a recent report from Canalys that talks about, the global PC market. So the global PC market grew year over year for a 4th consecutive quarter, with total shipments of desktop, notebooks, and workstations rising 1.3% to 66.4 million units. Although growth in Q3 was modest, the PC market recovery is now well underway, with a number of positive signals indicating stronger performance in the coming quarters. Notebook shipments, including mobile workstations, grew 2.8% to 53.5 million, while desktop shipments, including desktop workstations, declined 4.6% to 12.9 million units. The uptick in demand has been especially strong from businesses, which now have just a year to upgrade their fleets to Windows 11 and avoid paying extended support fees. The launch of the latest generation AI PC processors from Intel, AMD, and Qualcomm is also strengthening the value proposition of upgrading an old PC. Of course, we've been talking about that for a while, and more specifically, the end of life of Windows 10 is October 2025, and of course, we're also going to get Windows 12. So yes, there is definitely going to be a big refresh cycle. Now, with regards to specific vendors, Lenovo was the top vendor in the 3rd quarter, shipping 16.49 million units worldwide, growing 2.8% year over year. HP came in second, with sales almost flat year on year at 13.57 million units. Dell held on to 3rd position but saw its shipment fall 4% year over year to 9.84 million units. Asus or Asus, whatever you prefer, I've seen and I've heard people debate about this, so okay, whatever, took the 4th place, boasting the highest growth among the top vendors with a 15.8% year-over-year increase. As for Apple, it rounded out the top 5 with 5.11 million Macs shipped, but saw a 17.5% decline year-over-year. Now, moving to the Gaudi 3 story. So, unfortunately, my Chinese is not that great, so whatever is written here, I have no clue. Just kidding. You can use Google Translate and, the magic of Google Translate does everything for you. So, what did the article piece say? Intel's operations have encountered headwinds. It is reported that in response to internal strategic adjustments and changes in terminal demand, the company has significantly lowered its AI server chip shipment target for next year, with a drop of up to more than 30%. Intel declined to comment. It is reported that Intel is adjusting its AI server chip Gaudi 3 shipment target this time. It was originally estimated that shipments in 2025 will be about 300 to 350,000 units. The latest news is that it has been reduced to 200 to 250,000 units. Again, this is just one website writing about this. Remains to be seen what happens. But, okay, let's say this is correct. Gaudi 3 costs around $15,650. So if we do the math here, this is the amount it costs. And let's say they do ship around between 200 and 250,000 units. That's still between $3.1 to $3.9 billion for 2025 just from Gaudi 3. Now, just a reminder, Intel expects over $500 million in accelerated revenue in the second half of 2024. So yeah, that is an order of magnitude higher than what it is supposed to generate in 2024, even after that 30% cut. Now remember, Gaudi 3, TSMC 5 nanometers, Falcon Shores, TSMC 3 nanometers. We'll use some aspects of Gaudi 3 as well. So maybe Intel is saying, look, okay, let's launch Gaudi 3, but we are so confident on Falcon Shores that, well, what's the point of trying to ramp up Gaudi 3 if we're so close to launching Falcon Shores and the results there are looking quite promising? So maybe that's one of the reasons we are seeing or supposed to see a 30% cut. Could very well be. But I mean, even if that's not the reason, it still is $3.1 to $3.9 billion that Intel is going to see from just Gaudi 3 in 2025. Not too bad, right? Plus, if it does manage to get back some market share thanks to Lunar Lake, thanks to Granite Rapids, I mean, that's quite a lot more revenue coming in 2025 compared to 2024. So yeah, I could see the sentiment change. Of course, there's still a long way to go. Remains to be seen what happens. Now, for those that don't know, this is Gaudi 3 and Falcon Shores. So Gaudi 3 is set to launch in Q3 of 2024. It is expected to significantly enhance Intel's accelerator performance, offering approximately twice the performance per dollar in both inference and training compared to NVIDIA's H100s. I know, you're going to say, yeah, but NVIDIA is already at H200s, plus Blackwell, etc. Correct. Gaudi 3 has already seen strong customer adoption with companies like Naver, Ola, IBM, Cloud, Zeekr, Bosch, and some others demonstrating its benefits. As for Falcon Shores, that's planned for release in 2025, late 2025. It will combine the performance of Gaudi 3 with a fully programmable architecture, providing a smooth upgrade path from Gaudi 2 and 3. So that's basically what I said before. This could be the reason why we might see Gaudi 3's life cycle being, well, not life cycle, Gaudi 3's shipment being cut short. Continuing here on the Gaudi 3 topic, Inflection AI and Intel launch enterprise AI system. Intel is still very strong when it comes to enterprise, and it's nice to see these types of partnerships. So Inflection AI and Intel announced Inflection for Enterprise, an industry-first enterprise-grade AI platform powered by Intel Gaudi 3 accelerators and Intel Tiber Cloud services. Delivering empathetic, conversational, employee-friendly AI capabilities, this AI coworker provides the control, customization, and scalability required for complex, large-scale deployments. Now, I know I might sound excited with regards to everything that's happening with Intel, and maybe I'm a little bit too optimistic, but no, my expectations are still quite low with Intel. I think we still have time until we really see the whole company improving. But exiting 2024, I do want to get more color on what management sees. Hopefully we'll get that in the next earnings call and the next, well, conferences, analyst conferences in the coming months. Now, last one here, and that's with regards to Clearwater Forest. So Clearwater Forest is Intel's first server product based on the Intel 18A process technology. It features Intel's industry-leading hybrid bonding technology and advanced packaging capabilities, including Foveros Direct. Clearwater Forest has achieved power on and is on track to launch in 2025. It is currently in the fab, indicating that the development phase is progressing well. The product is expected to provide leadership performance and capabilities, leveraging Intel's advanced process technology and packaging innovations. Clearwater Forest is anticipated to accelerate Intel's share gains in server market, with production ramp expected in the first half of 2025 for a mid-year product release. Remains to be seen what happens with those exact release dates. And so looking at the graph right now, it does seem like Intel stock did rebound from the lows here under $20. Back then it was also oversold on the weekly, we've seen some nice momentum in the last couple of weeks, stabilizing at around $22, $23 or so. It's now above the 50-day moving average, and it did see a rebound on that 20-day one. Now the 200-day moving average sits at $30. I think it will be a while until we see those numbers, unless next quarter in the earnings call outlook is better than expected. They're already seeing some positive signs for 2025 and the stock reacts super positively. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, shall we? So overall, that's all you have to know with regards to Intel, Gaudi 3 specifically, especially that report that came out. Whether it's accurate or not remains to be seen, but that's all you've got to know right now. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.